Okay, so periodic trends. In chemistry, periodic trends are the tendencies of certain elemental characteristics to increase or decrease. Okay, so ang pinag-uusapan lang natin dito ay increase or decrease as one progresses through a row or a column of the periodic table. So, ang usual trend here is as element goes along the period, so it could either increase or it could either be increasing or decreasing. Okay? Or as it goes along the group, so pababa naman, it's either increasing or decreasing. Okay, so we are going to discuss five properties ng periodic trends. Okay, so first property that we're going to discuss is the ionization potential or energy. So this refers to the amount of energy that is required to remove an electron from the neutral atom so that it could be converted into a positively charged ion known as the cation. So ano ang trend here? Ionization potential or energy eventually increases. So increases from left to right of the periodic table or in any period. So increases from left to right and decreases from top to bottom in any group. Okay, so if we're going to look at the periodic table, so it increases daw. So for ionization energy, from left to right, if this is the left side of your periodic table and this is the right side, so from left to right, it is increasing. So if it is increasing, it starts with the one that is small on the left and it goes bigger as it progresses through the right. Okay? And so that's increasing. From left to right, it is increasing. From top to bottom naman, as it goes down along the group, okay, it is decreasing. Decreasing daw. Okay, if that's decreasing, the one on top is usually higher than the one on the bottom. Kasi nga decreasing. Okay? So that's the trend. So let's have an example. Okay? So bromine versus potassium. So bromine daw has higher ionization potential than potassium kasi nga increases from left to right. Hanapin natin, bromine and potassium. Mas mataas si bromine. Okay? So since the trend here a while ago is increasing, and with increasing, the one on the left is small and the one on the right is higher. Okay? Itong circle na lang na to itong circle ang ating basis sa kanyang ionization potential. So the one on the left is smaller ionization potential and the one on the right is higher. So ito si potassium at ayun si bromine. They are on the same period. So we are using the trend left to right. Sabi natin from left to right it is increasing. Okay, so and we are after the higher ionization potential. So therefore, tama yung sinabi natin kanina that bromine has higher ionization potential than potassium because of the trend increasing left to right. Okay? And the next example, potassium daw has higher ionization than francium because the trend is it decreases from top to bottom in any group. Ang position ng potassium and francium, so this is potassium and that's francium. They are on the same group. The trend is decreasing. Okay? When we say decreasing, the one on top has higher ionization potential and the one at the bottom will have lower ionization potential. So it is just true that potassium has higher ionization potential than francium kasi it is located on the upper part of the periodic table. Okay, so that's the trend for ionization potential. Again, it increases from left to right and decreases top to bottom. Pwede rin natin isulat ito na from left to right. So pag ganyan, left to right, ito yung left, yan yung right. It is increasing. So when you say increasing, the one on the left is bigger than the one on the right. Smaller rather. And then top to bottom, from top to bottom, this is the top and this is the bottom. It is, so this is increasing. When we say decreasing, so the one on top is bigger than the one at the bottom. Okay? Actually, that trend is also true for electron affinity. Electron affinity this time refers to the amount of energy released when a neutral atom accepts an electron in its outermost energy level so that it will be converted into a negatively charged ion known as the anion. Still, okay, parehas sila, increases from left to right in any period and decreases from top to bottom. Okay, so katulad din ng example natin kanina, bromine has higher electron affinity this time than potassium, and potassium has higher electron affinity than francium because electron affinity and ionization potential shares the same trend. It increases from left to right and decreases from top to bottom. Now, for electronegativity, ganun pa rin. But we define first electronegativity. This is the attraction of an atom for shared electrons, and the electronegativity values decreases again from left to right and increases from left to right and decreases from top to bottom. So, madali nating tandaan kasi itong tatlong property na to, itong ionization potential, electron affinity, at yung last na electronegativity, iisa lang yung trend nila. That is, increases from left to right and decreases from top to bottom. Okay, so kaya ang example pa rin natin ay bromine has higher electron affinity than potassium because the trend is left to right increases, and potassium has higher electron affinity than francium again because the trend still is decreasing from top to bottom. Now, comes to atomic size, so medyo maiiba tayo dito. Atomic size refers to the atomic radius, represents the distance between the nucleus to its valence shell. Now, the trend is bago to. Okay, hindi kakatulad nung first three. It decreases from left to right. So, opposite sila ngayon. So, decreases from left to right in any period and increases from top to bottom. Okay, so for the atomic size, from left to right again, it decreases. So the one on the left this time is bigger in terms of atomic size than the one on the right. And from top to bottom naman, it is increasing. So the one on top is smaller, and as you go down the group, which are the bottom, they are bigger. Okay? So for bromine, has a smaller atomic radius than potassium. Kasi di ba nandito sa right side si bromine, tapos si potassium ay nandun sa left. Kaya smaller daw si bromine. Okay? Terms naman sa potassium and francium, okay? Si potassium daw ay mas maliit kasi nga nandun siya sa top part at si francium ay nasa baba. Ang ating trend ay increases. Okay? So parang kabaliktaran lang ng trend nung first three properties, ionization potential, electron affinity, and electronegativity. Kabaliktaran nila naman ng trend si atomic size. Okay? And the last, for ionic size naman, magkaiba ang atomic size sa ionic size. Remember that atomic size, they are neutral atoms here, and for ionic size, we are dealing with cations and anions. This time ay charged atom to ngayon, charged. Okay? So, ang trend daw here is, it increases from top to bottom. Okay? So, parang parehas sila ni atomic radius. Atomic size increases from top to bottom. Okay? Increases from top to bottom in any group. However, wala nang trend ang ionic size when it terms of along the period. Rather, ionic size decreases as the charge increases. Always bear in mind. Okay? So, ionic size decreases as charge increases. So, therefore, cations having a positive charge is or are smaller than the neutral atom, and whereas larger than the Whereas anions rather, yung mga negatively charged daw ay larger than the neutral atom. So, paano ito? Ang pinakamaliit daw ay cation. Okay? Pinakamaliit siya, mas maliit siya sa neutral atoms. Yung neutral daw ay mas malaki ang ionic size kaysa sa cation. Pero si anion ay mas malaki sa neutral, so therefore, ang anion. Ang pinakamalaki in terms of ionic size ay those that bears the negative charge or known as the anion, then followed by the neutral atom, and then pinakamaliit si cation. Kaya nga kapag isusulat natin yan, okay, those with negative charge is bigger than the neutral, and that neutral is bigger than those with positive charge. But in terms of negative charge, mas malaki daw yung mga may negative 3 compared to negative 2, and mas malaki daw yung ionic size ng may negative 1. Okay? Susunod si 0 or the neutral atom. Pero yung neutral atom daw, mas malaki ang kanyang ionic size kaysa dun sa positive 1 ang kanyang charge. Okay? So kung pag-uusapan natin here, calcium positive 2, okay, has bigger ionic size than magnesium. Kasi nga here, we are talking about from those with they share the same group. Okay? Saan ba yung calcium and magnesium na yan? So calcium yan positive 2, magnesium positive 2. They share the same charge. So hindi pwede itong trend na ito. Rather, ang gagamitin natin itong trend na yan, increases from top to bottom. So tingnan nga natin yung ating periodic table. So si calcium, so increases from top to bottom. Ito si calcium, ayun si magnesium. Increasing, so we start with the small and the one at the bottom is big. So calcium is bigger than magnesium kasi nga ang trend ay increasing. Nasa baba kasi si calcium. Okay? If they share the same group. Pero kapag hindi na sila mag-share ng same group, like this one, the sulfur ion, chlorine ion, potassium ion, and aluminum ion. Okay? So, mas malaki daw si sulfur kasi negative 2 ang kanyang charge. Aluminum maliit lang siya kasi positive 3 ang kanyang charge. For this time, ang ating gagamiting trend ay ganito. Okay? Okay, so yung negative 3 ay bigger than negative 2. So negative 2 is bigger than negative 1. Negative 1 is bigger than positive 1. And positive 1 is bigger than positive 3. If we are only talking about ionic sizes. Okay? So yung charges na yan ang magdedetermine ng ionic size. Okay?